Hello, this is my learning outcome number 3 and it's going to be about the last decades. Okay, I'd like to start saying that between 1945 and 1989 the Cold War took place and the world was divided into the socialist and the capitalist bloc. After the fall of the Berlin Wall, equity arises as a right, the communist bloc fell silent and the USSR became Russia. Capitalism expanded, the war stopped, but the rivalry between countries continued. They went from the political sphere to the commercial sphere, and between 1990 and 2000, treaties were signed to stop this. The USSR power ended when socialism was making more problems than benefits. So, the unipolar world started. Russia was devastated and the capitalist bloc began to take place in most parts of the world. The United States became a world power and the world economy adapted to the capitalism. Thus, the unipolar world emerged. We know that in 2001 there was an attack to the Twin Towers, and it was a terrorist attack. But what's the terrorism? Okay. It's a social problem that allows the clandestine application of prohibited measures, and this problem was born in the French Revolution by implementing a regime of executions to subdue the population. But in the 20th century, globalization brought disagreements between countries. These disagreements with the political transition that was taking the world generated violence and attacks took place. Now, globalization is a phenomenon that allows us to have a wider variety of what we want and we can acquire in the catalog of the national market. It emerged between 1980 and 1990 by the disappearance of Soviet bloc, which meant a strong industrial and technical growth of Japan. China was reintegrated to the international economy. Free trade was approved and the neoliberal policy emerged. The globalization refers to political, social, cultural, and economic changes that favor the reduction of the national geopolitical borders of the world. Passing to the digital era, despite the fact that it begins in 1950 with the invention of the first digital computer, the technological revolution begins in the 20th century with the technology changing the world because thanks to the internet we can know what is happening in another part of the world with just a few clicks. The internet ads are an example of how globalization has been present in the lives of human beings since it emerged. Today's society communicates through social media and the world has become digital. An actual problematic is the trade war, which is a conflict between the powers for the payment of inequivalent tariffs and customs. In conclusion, the conflicts never end. The society went from war to trade wars. Mexico is an intermediary between the United States and China, and history helps us to know the world better.